Welcome back to the shop. This is going to be sort of an oddball episode. What I have here is a 1 RPM. I think it's one and a half to 2 RPM or something like. Anyway, it's this very low RPM motor, 110 volt, 100 to 127 volt actually. The variability in terms of the RPMs, I think, is a function of the frequency. In some countries, I think we're 60 hertz here, but I think Jamaica, parts of Japan, and any number of countries have a different system that operates off of 50 hertz, the frequency in which the alternating current goes back and forth. So that frequency dictates the RPM of the motor. So, by way of example, if you took a clock, a regular old clock, and plugged it in an American clock that ran off of 60 hertz, I might have that backwards, but anyway, if I do, it's still, the principle's still the same. If you took an American clock that ran off of 60 hertz and went over to Jamaica and plugged it in with a 50 hertz system they got there, it's going to run slow. Or conversely, if you had a Jamaican clock and brought it over here, it's going to run fast. So, anyway, that's, I think, why they won't commit to a true RPM on this. And this is going to be just hardwired, plugged into an outlet. I'm not going to. If I found a switch or something, maybe I'd put something in here. But anyway, I don't think I have a switch that or in a proper housing. But I think what I'm going to do, just as a proof of concept, what I'm doing is building a rotating display. Sorry about that. So I want a display that I can set a tool on and have it spin around like a watch or jewelry counter or something like that. So I'm just going to take an old electrical junction box, a piece of scrap wood, this motor, and whatever other shit I can cobble together, and try to make a rotating display. So when I do a project, so when I have something that's old and rusty, I can put it here and have it walk around and get a good 360 view of it. And you may have seen in my other videos, I get some 360 shots. I think the Colombian Vice. I use this. This is a dolly, electric dolly. So you turn it on, and you can set the wheels at whatever angle you want, and the camera will drive around in circles. However, having these wheels aligned so it does a perfect 360 around whatever you want is super difficult. There's nothing easy at all about it. So anyway, it's always headed off in one direction, and it typically doesn't repeat the same, doesn't track the same. It's always walking some other direction. But anyway, this is a neat little gadget that I got on Amazon, open box, scratch and dent thing. It's very cool. I'm happy I have it. However, I spend more time fiddling with it to get a 2-minute shot or 2-second shot. It's just not practical. Not that any of this is practical, but anyway. So I've got this little motor and some odds and ends, and I'm going to see if I can't make a go of this and make a rotating turntable. Now it has a little keyway in there. Alright, let's see if it works. that's pretty cool. I'm going to take this piece of wood, bring it over to my sander, clean it up, stain it, we'll do whatever it takes to make it look a little bit better, and then I'll bring it back when I'm getting ready to mount it in the box. So if you watched any of my other videos, you may have heard me lamenting about paint. I could put some sort of oil, or I have all this furniture polish that I keep using all the time. I've got a lot of different options I could use for this wood to go on here, but when I was over there sanding, I said, look at that, I got a sticky pad with some sandpaper. That'll serve to hold whatever's on there, not to say the RPMs are going to be an issue, but having a textured surface like this is sometimes good because the camera doesn't focus on it in general. I think if you see, like if you watch this old Tony, you'll see he uses like a giant piece of Scotch-Brite, or if you watch Scout Crafter, he'll use carpet, some sort of textured fabric underneath, because the camera doesn't tend to lock in on the individual pieces. That's what I think is going on with that. And this blue backdrop of mine, I think serves sort of a similar purpose. Actually, this is just a steel workbench, and it just gets dirty so fast. This is just a little easier to keep up. And I do cut quite a lot of stuff on it, so this is handy to keep from wrecking every utility knife. But anyway, I've got this sanded, edges sort of broken. I'm going to work on attaching the motor to this box. Let's see how that goes. Now, I'm sure the vast majority of you guys and girls already do this, but before I throw anything out that's electrical, I cut the cord off of it, specifically for things like this, because if you're going to go down to your big box store and buy an outlet like that, you're going to pay, I don't know, probably the cheapest one in there is $3 or $4, but for as much stuff breaks, I mean, there's no reason not to cut these cords off and have them around. And the one thing that you really want to cut off, as far as cords, and I always carry a Leatherman with me, which has wire cutters on it. But whenever I see a vacuum cleaner getting thrown out, I'll stop and cut the cord off of it, because those vacuum cleaners will pull 12, 13, 14, 15 amps. Well, probably just short of 15, because that's a standard load for like a residential breaker. But anyway, they'll pull quite a bit of power out of the wall. So the the cords for a vacuum cleaner are much nicer, and that's actually what I have on my my belt sander, is a vacuum cleaner cord. Those are good cords. They make light duty extension cords and things like that. But it takes a half a second to stop, cut the cord off of that, and it's a sort of resource that's being wasted by and large. So anyway, if you're not too proud to pick through the trash, you see a vacuum cleaner, stop, cut the cord off of it. If the scrappers haven't got there first. So that is my $3 turntable. I think it'll be pretty handy. It'll save me some time, and it'll allow me a sort of a more dynamic perspective on the stuff that I'm working on. So let me try to get it from a different angle. Alright, so that's my little turntable motor. I got it off of Amazon, so I'll put a link in the description or a screenshot or something. And anyway, there's probably a million different ways you can make this, make it a lot nicer. But anyway, I think this is pretty cool, a fun little project. Thanks for watching. If you're not already subscribed and you like this kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe. And have a good day.